Our industry prior to HousingWire was almost, I don't want to even say fragmented, but you're right. You had so many different people doing different things, right? Buying a house isn't just an agent showing up, a buyer and a seller. There's so much more to that transaction and the intricacies that come along with it. And so what you've really done is pieced it together so that you have one place for someone to go, realize, understand exactly what's going on. And you've kind of had this front row seat to what I think is one of the most significant changes in housing over the past, I don't know, 5 years, because it's been major change since then. I guess what I'd love to know is like, what's one trend or storyline since you really got into this that you think agents and now lenders absolutely need to understand right now? Like, is there one thing? I've seen many, but is there one thing that stands out to you in recent years?
Well, this is like a longer term trend that's like had its evolution, but like technology in our industry is something that keeps changing the way we do things, hopefully for the better. But along the theme of thinking as housing professionals, technology is starting to unify the transaction. And consumer expectations are driving that in a massive way. Consumers don't venture into the purchase or sale of a home thinking through, how do I integrate my agent with my lender, with my inspector, with my appraiser? They are expecting, because other parts of their lives have built this expectation, that data, process, order of operations is going to flow through technology to make that purchase or sale transaction easier.
Yep.
So like, James, I think you and I can both recognize that we've been talking about this trend for, I was going to say a decade, but it's probably like 15 years.
Yep.
And like, to date, technology has not come in and dramatically changed the way each of the professionals in the housing industry operates.
Yep.
But we're at a point now, specifically as the industry exits what we would consider a 3-year housing recession, and we're starting to see some green shoots in the data.
Yep.
A lot of organizations, real estate brokerages, lenders, the vendors that serve the ecosystem have made a lot of serious investments in technology over the last 3 years, especially the larger players. AI has helped speed that up, and we're going into a stage of the market cycle where the players who've invested in technology, whether they're small and have partnered with vendors, or they're large and they built their own ecosystems, are looking to fuel a more efficient housing transaction that has less hands touching every step of the process and helping professionals get to their highest and best use. So on the agent side, that's focusing on the relationship and the advice. It probably really emphasizes that the agents with the most reps can offer the best advice, and technology is hopefully enabling the smartest, fastest, most experienced players to get more reps and offer better advice and serve more consumers, which ultimately fuels like a cream rising to the top, like consolidation wave in the industry. So that's a long trend. Sorry, James, but like it's technology changing, like the innovation cycle, fueling consolidation, fueling agents and lenders both get more professional because the best do more transactions, and it creates less room for lower transaction or less experienced people to step into the industry. That's the big trend that I'm watching.
I truly couldn't have asked for a better answer. Obviously, that I'm building tech, and it's just, there's nothing more that I want to do right now than talk all about what I'm building, and it's been something, a passion of mine. But this was exactly what I spoke about at Blueprint last week. It's like, what is the future of the agent, right? And I see the only way that we failed with tech is if AI robots come in and take all of our jobs and we no longer have a job. But failing that, tech today is moving so quickly, so rapidly. Consumers have so much more access to data. The only way a real estate agent can separate themselves right now is with information, proprietary data, whatever it might be. So if you're not an agent that is using tech to the very best of your advantage, you are going to fall behind. And I'm seeing it so similar to the back of the day when the internet came out, right? It's like people back then were like, what the hell is this? I got to connect. And then it makes this weird. But if you didn't adapt the internet into your life in the early days, guess what? You fell behind.
Yep.
And if you're not adapting tech into your life today, I don't care if you're in the mortgage world, the agency world, any part of the world right now, unless you're getting in front of it, unless you're 3 steps ahead, you're 5 steps behind. So really lean into that tech that can allow you to be more efficient, because you can't clone yourself and time is something that you can't buy back. So how can you level up as an agent, as a mortgage broker, as a reporter in any field to level up and be more efficient and become the best version of yourself? And I think that's really the answer you gave, is like the biggest subject that's being talked about right now is tech. Get in front of it. Don't stand behind it. That's what I heard.
HousingWire hosts an AI summit every August. We hosted the first one in 2024 and the second one this past August. And the conversation changed wildly in that 12-month period. 12 months ago in the first AI summit, there was a lot of reluctance of executives to talk about AI eliminating roles and like replacing some people in the transaction. This year, like no more reluctance. Yeah. But like the good news, at least likely for the audience that you have here, James, is that the roles that brokerage and lending leaders were talking about being eliminated were very operations and like assistant oriented. So there was lenders talking about, hey, we no longer have a need for loan officer assistants, and underwriters are now no longer going to be doing like the conventional like vanilla loans. They're going to be working on like the harder scenarios because AI is going to run us through the conventional stuff, the W2 faster. And brokerage leaders are talking about process engineering and needing like less ops talent at the brokerage level because agents are going to have the tools at their fingertips to run more efficient processes. So that I think it's awesome that there's so many conversations in the industry about like using ChatGPT and these new like consumer like AI tools that help you create content and like social content. But I get way more interested in how AI and technology is changing like the process of buying and selling, and the integrated AI that moves data forward through the steps of buying and selling a home, where historically like humans were like, you know, moving the file or sending the email or making the phone call. Like that's where like AI is like likely most important as we look to the next 24 months.